Hi guys, so this video is going to be a video about sort of telling friends and family that we're moving. Hoping you've been enjoying the series so far. Like I said, if you have any questions or other comments and stuff like that, feel free to leave them in the comment section because I always appreciate getting feedback and just hearing about how you guys are finding it. And if there's anything that's maybe unclear or anything that you want to hear a bit more about, then yeah, happy to chat about that. So if I'm looking down, I've got my iPad here. It was a very kind of big announcement when we told people that we're coming back, or I'm coming back and my partner's coming with me after almost a decade of not being in Germany. And I think it particularly was surprising and confusing even for my family hearing it, because I've always said I'm never ever coming back. Like, it's when I left Germany 10 years ago, I was literally dead set on I'm not ever coming back to live in this country. This is not how I want my life to look. This is not where this is not where I feel comfortable. This is not what I like. This is not kind of the culture and people that I identify with. Obviously, for a bit more context, my family is from Croatia. My mum's Bosnian, my dad's Croatian. So I grew up with a very much already quite a split identity, where I was born and grew up in Germany, but my family and the culture that I grew up with is Croatian. I've always felt like I've always had that kind of label of being foreign, obviously in school and with my friends. I've never identified as fully German, but then also when I would go and visit my family in Croatia, I was never seen as Croatian either, so it was quite confusing. And then obviously now I've thrown in a third country into that, so it's extra confusing, but that's kind of besides the point. Yeah, that was kind of a big part of the reason why I never really felt that close with kind of the country Germany. I don't know, I've never felt patriotic or anything like that towards any country. So obviously the move away from Germany was quite easy when I was 18, but obviously moving away from my family was kind of the harder part. But at the time, I think my kind of drive for freedom and independence and just doing my own thing and being away from everything that sort of defined me and put me in a box was just bigger than missing the people that I love. And obviously that was kind of the narrative for the past 10 years. Fast forward to now, that's very much changed. Yeah, I was in a couple of, maybe half a year ago, I was just in a very kind of tricky spot in my life and just really felt out of place and really felt confused, and I don't know what the right word for it is, but I just felt burnt out from life, or from the life that I was living. I think I said this in videos before, whenever I'd go back and visit my family, even more so in the last year, I've kind of felt I just want to stay and just have more time with my family and be able to spend time with them, and it just feel more natural. That kind of the idea and the need to be with them is kind of grown bigger in my head. And then I sort of shared it with my partner, and at first through having more conversations about it and him kind of figuring out that what he wants to achieve in his life, actually maybe being in Germany will allow him to do that much easier than being here. So he also came along with me for one of the last visits, and he actually kind of cemented the idea that he really likes it, and he likes he can picture himself living there and being with my family and stuff, which is really lovely, and I really appreciate him very much for agreeing to do that. When we were sure that that's what we wanted to do, we sort of started telling people, and I don't know, the fear of maybe rejection, or the fear of being told that that's a stupid idea and that it's not what we should be doing, or maybe the expectation would have been a very different one. And I feel you probably start spiraling, because for such a long time it was a completely different narrative. I just think people are going to think you're crazy or something. It was quite the opposite, and the reception of the news has been so positive, especially with my family. And to be fair, that was quite expected, that with my family it's going to be oh my goodness, like this is amazing, and we, you know, we can't wait to welcome you back and stuff. And also just very much a disbelief of like what is going on, like why, what's changed. Not ever something that they thought they were going to hear. With them, it was very positive. To be honest, with everyone, it's been very positive, and you know, they just can't wait to welcome us back. Obviously for my partner's family, it's been a bit more really positive as well, but I think they obviously don't want him to go, and they're going to miss him very much and kind of miss him being closer. I think it helps that they're already in a different city, so the physical like distance is already there. It's just that obviously it's going to be a different country, and that's much bigger distance than being in the same country but different city. But yeah, they have definitely accepted it very positively, and even all of our friends, like some of our friends have been very like confused and shocked, and also sad that we're not going to be there anymore. Like, not that we're not going to be in England anymore. It's also been very cute, like saying that they can come and visit us, which is really sweet. And obviously we're going to miss everyone very much, but at the same time it just does feel like the right choice to be doing this. In general, like I feel like I don't think we've had a single kind of negative reaction. Like I don't think anyone said it's really stupid and they don't want us to go, but like in a negative way, or that like what about us, like why aren't you thinking about us? Like it's really not been like that at all. And I think it's probably more like our kind of feeling of guilt. Obviously that, I feel like that's probably making us feel really bad and also sad, but it's not like them telling, like it's not them making us feel guilty and then telling us like, you know, what you're thinking and stuff, which has been really nice, because obviously it's really important that you have kind of your friends and family support in big decisions like this. The moral of this video is like, a lot of the times you might be overthinking things in your head and thinking, oh, why, you know, what are people going to say, and like you come up with like scenarios in your head and stuff like that, and making it like sound really bad in your head. But then actually when you share it with like your closest friends and like your loved ones, they are always going to support you, and like it doesn't really matter what you say, they are probably going to find a way of just wanting to be there for you and just wanting the best for you, and like wanting you to be happy and supporting you through whatever you do. It's really nice and really lovely to kind of know, and I thought also really nice like to share in a video with other people. And also like one last thing that I feel like is kind of important to share is like, for us, I think especially for me, once I like told my parents, that's when it kind of kicked in, like this is actually happening and like this is real. And I had quite a bit of like fear and anxiety kick in after that, because it made it feel so real that I'm thinking, was this the right choice? Like, was this the right decision? And like, maybe I don't actually want this, and maybe I don't actually want to like go and live in Germany, and maybe I actually do want to stay here in Bristol and like not leave, and that it was the wrong decision. Like I kind of spoke to my partner about it and like really reflected on like his feelings, and I think it was just very much the anxiety talking, and like very much the kind of kicking, like the reality kicking in of like, this is actually happening in like 6 months time or whatever. I remember like before moving to England, like I literally had like a mental breakdown, was just crying, and like my dad was just like, be there for me, just being like, you know, you're gonna be okay, everything's fine, like you don't need to worry, like if you don't like it you can always come back. I think maybe that's gonna happen like in reverse now, or like maybe a snippet of that kind of happened in reverse. Now thinking like, do I actually want to move back? But yeah, like I said, it's normal, and I think a lot of people feel that. I'm doing this like series, so you guys are probably going to see more of like the real feelings of like fear and like the stressful situations as well. Also planning to do sort of videos about kind of getting rid of things and like how it feels to like, yeah, just like give things away, and like things that we've accumulated, and just like feelings of loss, probably also feelings of guilt and stuff like that. So there's a lot to unpack and talk about, definitely. If you have any other questions, like just let me know. I hope you've been enjoying it so far. Hope to see you in the next video soon.